Hello, everyone. The universe exists inside us, and the outside is only its reflection. So go inwards if you choose to fathom it, or else the reflection could waste the essence of your life. Sigmund Freud discovered the unconscious mind, which, as an astrologer, I have learned that it was somewhere in the last decade of 19th century when Freud first published his observations. Interestingly, in the end of the 19th century, we had the Neptune Pluto conjunction too. Now, the key here is that with the discovery of Neptune, our knowledge of the cosmos deepened, and so did the knowledge of the human mind. So, direct Neptune hastens us unconsciously, whereas the Neptune retrograde helps us realize consciously as we reconnect with our feelings. So today, Neptune retrogrades in the sign of Pisces and remains there till the 6th of December, making you aware of your deepest feelings, longings, and desires. Now, Neptune invokes both intuition and imagination. When it's retrogrades, its energies are more potent as our hopes and dreams defy fear. Our inner psyche is evoked and awakened as it soaks up our surroundings carefully. You need to immerse yourself in what feeds and nourishes your soul. During the retrogrades, you can review your life, revise, repair, and edit. An opportunity for a makeover, learning to blend your skills and knowledge with maturity. Allow yourself to soak in the collective consciousness. Immerse yourself in the presence of the divine soul, as during these coming months, there is no separation between you and the sentient beings. Your inward and outward realms are merged as one big being. Meditating on your inner energies is the best way to find answers to whatever you seek. It's all about moving through faith instinctually. So when Neptune is direct, we kind of drift along in life, whereas during its retrograde, you start to question and address your feelings and actions realistically, making it a personal responsibility. Now, Neptune pinpoints the part of you that is realistic and important for your internal growth and strengthens in life. Now, when our external world is foggy or inconsistent, it reminds us to look within to find the answers or the correct path. So, throughout our life, we live in the paradox of our dual natures. Each one of us are the embodiment of the sun, and we have a responsibility towards fulfilling our destiny on this earth. Now, cosmically, our energies are also accessed and affected by Neptunian energies. It's like ego, that is the sun, versus spiritualism, which is a true essence of feelings. With the right relationship with Neptune, we are better able to face and overcome life's obstacles with equanimity, whereas a wrong relationship with Neptune weakens us as we are not assertive enough in taking responsibility for our own journey in life. Now, direct Neptune drifts us into living a life that has nothing to do with reality. In fact, we tend to live in stupor and escapism when it's spinning forward. So, the retrograde helps decipher our perceptions from reality, and during the journey of life, we always are oscillating between the two modalities of perception. So during this period, we are connected to the pole of consciousness without an ego and are able to face our core realities. Through this connection, we are able to face our own truth, needs, fears, thereby also giving us the power to overcome our weaknesses by harnessing our strengths. Now, during the retrograde of Neptune, the universal intelligence forces us to declutter our emotions so that we realistically can see what troubles us and how it can be overcome. Now, this planet, in fact, represents the interface between ego and the unfathomable spaciousness of a deep psyche. The very nature of Neptune is to help us go beyond our perceptions to reality. It acts like a window through which we come face to face with our true selves, our true understandings of what we can and cannot aspire. This understanding makes life a lot happier, easier, and comfortable. It's the merging of unconscious consciously. Now, let us consider the sign that Neptune goes retrograde in. It's Pisces, which is a water sign, very emotional elementally. Whereas the fire signs are all about actions, earth signs are all about planning, air signs are all about thinking, and water is all about feelings. The word feel conjures up a lot human emotions like joy, sorrow, ecstasy, mood swings, and every other emotional state between them. So, what is the element? Water, the element, is all about your deep longings, soul's desires, emotions, and compassion. Neptune, being the lord of Pisces, very comfortable in its sign and more potent when it is retrograde, it helps you understand relationships and makes you very instinctual, intuitive, and inspirational. Now, Neptune, the planet Neptune, in the water element Pisces, adds emotional content to that which was only existing as a mental concept in your mind. Your consciousness and unconscious merges to bring you a realistic approach to what your feelings desire and determine. Now, Neptune and Saturn both are retrograde in Pisces. Saturn indicates where we feel weak, inadequate, or insecure. We often deny or hide these painful feelings from others. However, when Neptune retrogrades in the same sign as Saturn, or they're together there in the same sign of Pisces, our defense mechanism fails and we come to realize the depth of our feelings. We are forced to confront our innermost doubts and weaknesses. Saturn, the boundary builder, serves to alienate us from our awareness, those parts of ourselves that we don't like and makes us feel uncomfortable. Whereas Neptune is a boundary deliverer, it challenges the defenses of Saturn and exposes our true reality. Basically, the transit of Saturn Neptune is helping us recognize and dissolve the barriers that stand in our way of growth and success. Now, Saturn signifies restrictions imposed from the outside in the form of rules or regulations and also self restrictions, whereas Neptune will emasculate these boundaries and help us operate in accordance to what we feel correct and intuitively from the heart deep within. Now, by the end of this retrograde of two powerful planets, our whole world view or our whole view of the world could change as new ideas and beliefs replace our old, outdated way of thinking. Now, as Neptune retrogrades in Pisces, we feel a pull to look inward, both to understand ourselves better and to find a greater fulfillment in our lives. The motivation to reflect more deeply on ourselves and life in general could be prompted by a growing sense of dissatisfaction with our present existence. We might have achieved a great deal materially in the world, but a nagging sense of incompleteness prompts us to find answers to life in a more profound way. We need to know our truth. Even those of us who have been engaged in a fair amount of self introspection or self analysis may feel the urge to explore the psyche or nature more thoroughly than ever before. So, if we try to resist Neptune or exert tighter controls over ourselves, that will all be in vain. Do not try to expend energy denying your feelings. In fact, embrace them. It is wiser and more productive to cooperate and work more constructively with this transit through some form of counseling, therapy, spiritual guidance, or self exploration, which will felicitate and give meaning to what the psyche is trying to convey. Whether we like it or not, Neptune impacts and urges many psychological changes and renewals, adapting to the new demands, shedding of the old self. To make this retrograde productive and sustainable, look within and find your answers wherever or whichever sector in your life you find a roadblock. It's important that you find new ways and means to overcome these blocks. Look into your spiritual beliefs if they're no longer working and you find yourself attracted to new ideologies or theories, then by all means allow yourself to go with the flow and explore new ways of rejuvenating and rejoicing. Neptune retrograde is a good time to reflect and take a more practical, logical, and discerning approach to the situation. There are lessons to be learned in relationships. You could be deciphering between relationships that connect with your soul and the ones that are there for a purpose. The reality of each relationship comes forth. It's a time for you to understand which relationship nourishes your soul. By setting boundaries and not allowing yourself to be taken advantage of is when you learn to respect the spirit within you. While unconditional love is a notable spiritual practice, sometimes we have to practice loving from afar and loving through our own boundaries. This exercise helps you to connect spiritually with your higher realm. This is a time for reality check. When the planet is spinning forward, our mind is more hazy and foggy. It's not thinking rationally or taking reality checks. We are always continually escaping from facing up things or situations. It's only during the time of retrograde that we crash back into the truthiness of a situation. Paying attention to our well being and mental strength is heightened. Those of us who use mind altering substances are woken up to the fact of how abusive they are to our well being. The good news is that during this retrograde, we can ultimately go into a mind body cleansing. This change of psyche enables us to feel the kind of love, understanding, and forgiveness that is needed to make peace with anything or anyone who has hurt us in the past. It's a kind of closure that is actually an harbinger to the new, a prelude to a new life. So when Neptune travels retrograde, it's like your intuitions and inner soul has the capability to access what goes on behind your back. The veil gets lifted, allowing us to see the truth of relationships and situations. This planet of feelings helps you face the truth and gives you the strength to confront situations which you have been earlier avoiding. Confrontations done calmly liberates you. Being compassionate to yourself first and foremost is the first step towards achieving equanimity and serenity to your mind, body, and soul. Now look into your natal charts and decipher which house does the sign Pisces stand for. Then work towards reviewing that sector of your life, adhering to the message of Neptune that only if you connect with yourself will you be able to connect with others in a wholesome way. Your relationship with others will always remain hollow until you mend the relationship with yourself. So, when you are at peace with yourself, the powerful energies built inside you reflect the positive energies on the world around you. So, till my next, stay blessed.